They say that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but have you ever been around an enraged narcissist? They make Medusa look calm and composed. One wrong move and they snap. Their eyes flash with primal rage, their nostrils flare and their veins pop. If you're not careful, they might just bite you. And if they do, you will never forget it. But what causes this explosion? What sets them off? Let's find out in today's episode. Hello, I am a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome back to this channel dedicated to helping you get over narcissism and narcissistic people in your life. So let's jump right into this episode. Before we begin, please subscribe if you haven't already because your subscription always helps spread awareness about narcissistic abuse. Now let's get started. The episode title is The Narcissist's Rage: Why They Explode When Challenged. Have you ever wondered why narcissists explode when challenged? How can someone who seems so put together and self-assured become so enraged and dismissive when confronted with even the most minor of issues? In this episode, we'll explore the dark side of narcissism and examine why these individuals react so violently to criticism or any kind of accountability. So stay tuned and prepare to be shocked by the disturbing reasons behind their explosive rages. Narcissists often have a hard time accepting any type of feedback since they think they are superior and do not require any improvement. When someone challenges their viewpoint or offers constructive criticism, they perceive it as an attack on their flawless self-image. This perceived attack triggers a massive ego crisis resulting in rageful reactions. They cannot tolerate being told they are wrong or that they can improve because it contradicts their false self-perceptions. Such feedback makes them feel inferior and worthless, which they cannot accept. Therefore, they resort to anger and dismissiveness as a defense mechanism to protect their fragile ego. Another reason for a narcissist's explosive rage when challenged is their inability to cope with even the most minor setback. They believe they should always win and be the center of attention. However, when they experience failure or disappointment, they become overwhelmed and lose control. For example, a narcissist may throw a tantrum if they don't receive recognition at work or if they lose a game and are not praised for their effort. Narcissists take failure very seriously because it threatens their grandiosity and superiority. Therefore, they lash out in rage to protect their inflated ego. Narcissists live in a fantasy world where they are perfect and superior. When someone challenges their views or corrects them, they feel threatened and respond with rage. Their reaction is not a logical response to the situation, but rather a manifestation of their fragile ego and need for control. It is essential to understand that narcissists do not change and attacking them will only escalate the situation. Therefore, it is best to avoid engaging with them and instead focus on protecting yourself from their harmful behavior. Narcissists have an uncanny ability to manipulate others through fear and intimidation. When someone challenges them, they use their victims' fears against them to maintain control. Narcissists know that most people fear their anger and will do anything to avoid it. Therefore, they use threats and aggression to keep their victims compliant and submissive. This manipulation tactic is particularly effective on those who have low self-esteem or are dependent on the narcissist. For example, a narcissistic parent may threaten to cut off a child's allowance if they do not comply with their demands. By using fear and intimidation, the narcissist maintains power and control over their victim, ensuring that they remain submissive and obedient. Now, another thing that may trigger a narcissist's explosive rage is any attempt to set boundaries with them. Because they are self-centered and manipulative, they expect others to cater to their needs without regard for their own feelings or priorities. When someone tries to set boundaries with them, they feel entitled to complain. For example, a narcissistic friend may become enraged if you refuse to drop everything to hang out with them. They do not understand that you have other obligations and resent you for prioritizing them over your friendship. Similarly, a narcissistic partner may lash out if you try to set boundaries in the relationship. They feel that you are restricting their freedom and punishing them unjustly. As a result, they become aggressive and resentful, using tactics like guilt tripping and gaslighting to make you question your boundaries. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt manipulated and controlled by a narcissist? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your stories can help raise awareness about narcissistic manipulation and empower others to take action. In addition to their inability to cope with setbacks and their manipulative tendencies, another reason for a narcissist's explosive rage when challenged is their impulsivity. They lack self-control and often act on their immediate desires and impulses. This impulsivity stems from their underdeveloped prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation. Narcissists also have low frustration tolerance, which means they cannot tolerate even the slightest of delays or obstacles. When faced with a challenge, they feel overwhelmed and resort to impulsive reactions such as lashing out, storming off, or making impulsive decisions. This impulsivity can escalate conflicts and make it difficult for narcissists to resolve issues effectively. Instead of addressing the issue at hand, they become consumed by their emotions and act out in destructive ways. Narcissists thrive on being the center of attention and being praised for their accomplishments. However, when challenged, they may realize that they are not as competent or successful as they have been portraying themselves to be. This realization can cause them to panic and lash out in order to protect their false self-image. For example, a narcissistic coworker who has been bragging about their success may become enraged when a colleague challenges their claims. The narcissist feels threatened by the challenge and perceives it as an attack on their competence. As a result, they may lash out verbally or physically to maintain their dominance and protect their reputation. Similarly, a narcissistic athlete who has been boasting about their skills may become furious when they lose a competition. The athlete feels humiliated by the loss and lashes out to protect their false self-image of being a highly skilled competitor. It's important to remember that narcissists are driven by their need for admiration and attention. When challenged, they may feel threatened and act out in order to protect their false self-image. This can result in explosive rage and other destructive behaviors. Another disturbing reason behind a narcissist's explosive rage when challenged is their lack of empathy. They are unable to understand or share in the feelings of others, which causes them to respond inappropriately in challenging situations. For example, a narcissistic parent may not understand why their child is upset about something and may become enraged when confronted with the child's feelings. The parent may perceive the child's emotions as a personal attack and respond with anger rather than empathy. Similarly, a narcissistic friend may become furious when a friend expresses their feelings of being betrayed or hurt. The friend lacks the empathy to understand the emotional impact of their actions and lashes out as a result. This lack of empathy can escalate conflicts and make it difficult for narcissists to form meaningful relationships. Their inability to understand or share in the feelings of others can lead to inappropriate responses in challenging situations. You must understand that dealing with a narcissist's rage can be a traumatic experience. Their anger and aggression can leave you feeling scared, confused, and helpless. It's crucial to prioritize your mental health and well-being and seek support from friends, family, or a therapist. Remember that you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity and that you are not responsible for the narcissist's behavior. If you found this episode insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from it. Your support means everything to us. Also, if you want more episodes on narcissism, let us know in the comments section below. We appreciate your feedback and are committed to providing you with valuable content. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next episode.